The City of Vancouver is backing a new proposal from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. The plan is calling for a national 20-year commitment with predictable funding to develop and maintain infrastructure. Franny Karlinski reports. For the first time ever, someone is facing fraud charges for selling their student bus pass, also known as a U-Pass. Transit police say this case represents one of many they are currently investigating. But, as Francesca Fionda found out, not everyone believes the sale should be illegal. Vancouver's oldest used bookstore that has been open since 1946 is saying goodbye to its customers at the end of the year and shutting its doors for good. Carly Babcock has more. Sergeant Fincham added that while most of the time it's simply lost and not stolen, if your phone is stolen, that you should report it to your phone carrier and local police as soon as possible. He also joked that even if it has disappeared, the phone bill and payments stick around. Jeff Clowers in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. The mosquito device is installed at places such as this old abandoned library in order to keep the local youth population away and from loitering. We caught up with some of the people who have to deal with this problem on a daily basis to get their opinion. While the NHL lockout and lack of promotion from players hasn't helped raise awareness of the special stick, the sales have been through the roof. The sticks have been flying off the shelves ever since they've been released, making this Movember idea a great one. Jeff Clowers in North Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Do it. They're refusing to look at the big picture and the cumulative effects and impacts of what's going on in Northeast British Columbia, the breadbasket for this province.
Members of the Fort Nelson First Nations gathered in downtown Vancouver on Tuesday to push for a reform in the relationship between First Nations, government, and gas companies. Lands Director Lana Lowe says the trio have had strained talks in the past, brought on by a disagreement on the long-term impact fracking has on the land and people in northern BC.
We're asking the province, we're asking industry to work with us so we can figure out, okay, you guys need this much water, is that okay? And if so, what are the effects going to be? We need to cap it. Right now it's just a free-for-all. It's a gold rush for water, and nobody seems to be concerned about that except for us.
While it's unclear whether there's a significant environmental impact, the amount of water being withdrawn has increased by a staggering amount over the last few years. This time-lapse graphic shows the water withdrawals in Fort Nelson First Nations territory since November 2006. As you can see, there was a significant jump in withdrawals starting October 2010. The concern is that if the process harms the land, those who rely on it, like avid hunter Newt Lowe, will be left out in the cold.
What's really alarming to me is 3 years ago, I've noticed, used to be abundance of fish. In my opinion, I'm a pretty good fisherman. I went and I'd done my usual thing looking for fish, and I went 3 days, never caught a fish.
Without an agreement pending, legal action is the next step for Fort Nelson First Nations. They plan on fighting gas companies' ability to acquire water withdrawal licenses in court. Jeff Clowers in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. It's the middle of the afternoon at BCIT and these lights are turned on. It's a heavy drain on power to keep them constantly running, with many people either not caring or simply forgetting to turn them off. One group is working hard to fix that. The Green Team is a group here at BCIT that is seeking to improve our campus's environmental sustainability. One of their largest and most well-received projects has been the Last Out Lights Out initiative, which asks students to remember one thing anytime they leave the room. Lights out. The initiative has managed to save a whopping 3.9 million kilowatt hours. With the average home using 9,000 kilowatt hours a year, that means we saved enough to power 441 homes. More importantly, we ended up saving over $700,000 of energy. Currently, that money will go to buy carbon offsets from the provincial government. However, not all students believe that's the best use.
As a student, you're always looking for ways to save money, right? So if they could put it towards things like maybe making food cheaper on campus or decreasing tuition fees, stuff like that, that would probably be a lot more helpful just to BCIT's community.
Probably new energy efficient light bulbs.
Probably reducing textbook costs.
Anne-Marie Webb-Hughes says paying off the carbon offsets allows for more initiatives.
Anytime you put new initiatives together, it'll cost money. We know that those monies can be better used in other areas. And also, it's an awareness thing. If we can work with companies like BC Hydro and find ways to lessen the expense, lessen the amount of energy that we're using, and to offset those carbons, we know that we will be a more efficient campus.
To make our campus even more efficient, the Green Team has tabled a new initiative for this year, though the details are a tightly kept secret.
Can't release it yet, so I'm going to have to tease this one a bit. The Green Team, this is their baby, so they have to vote and make sure that this is what they want to do, but it's looking pretty exciting. It'll be unveiled in the next few weeks, and we'll get the campus all involved again.
Hopefully upcoming projects will be just as lights out as this year's. Jeff Clowers in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine.